Hello, fellow babies. This is Michael Pachter, and you are watching the Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. We are doing a special E3 edition. I'm hopeful that you're watching this as a Patreon patron, and if so, thank you very much. If you're watching it way late, I'm really sorry that you couldn't afford to donate to Patreon, but hope you're enjoying this on YouTube. And all we ask from you is a Twitter follow at Michael Pachter, at Dinfire, at SIFTD Games. Let's get to this week's question. Our first question comes from SIFTD from Yakov V. How much do you think the XBox Scarlett is going to cost? Will it be cheaper than the PlayStation 5? All right, Yakov, I think Scarlett is probably going to be priced at $400. I talked to Microsoft about the specs, and they said everything is commodity. The AMD chipset is new and dedicated to Microsoft, but the speed is going to be kind of commodity PC right now. So my expectation is $400. I think PS5 was spec'd out too high, and I think it probably was going to be $500 or more. If Scarlett is $400, PlayStation 5 will be $400. I think both companies understand that they're competing with one another. Microsoft said very clearly to me, we're in this to win this. They expect to sell more consoles than PlayStation next cycle. I doubt they will because of geographic reach. I think Sony's got a big advantage in Japan and some advantage in Europe, but we'll see. If Scarlett is really cool, if they have great games, I think that, and they price it at $400, I think they'll sell a ton of consoles. Okay, our next question from SIFTD from Rewind Replay. Which publisher or platform holder other than PlayStation had the worst showing at E3 2019? Hey, Rewind Replay, let's be real. You said other than Sony, they're not here. Next, Activision. They're kind of not here. There's no booth presence. Next, EA. They're not here. They're over there someplace. I think these guys that are pulling out, doing their own thing, are screwing it up for everybody. E3 should be a central location where gamers can come and see everybody that they care about, and the media should be able to come and see everybody they care about. I will give EA credit. I mean, the EA Play show is a great show, and they show a lot of stuff, but they do it far away. It's not part of E3. It's coincident with E3, so I think that's a mistake. Activision, I get it. This is a down year. They have nothing to show, except they have Call of Duty. Show it. I know they have BlizzCon. Show some Blizzard stuff here. Like, find a reason to be here. Show frickin' Candy Crush Friends. So I'd say the losers are Sony and the traditional publishers who aren't here. The winners are Ubisoft and Microsoft and Take-Two and everybody else who's here, who's showing off and capturing all this media attention. So again, I think it's really dumb. Our next question from SIFTD from Majora Tom. Does the games industry still need E3? More and more publishers, developers, and platform holders are opting to do more direct-to-consumer presentations of their products that presumably cost much less. Majora, yeah, we need E3, and we're fucking it up by not showing up. And so what's going to happen is, it's like asking, do we need cable TV? We can get everything on Netflix. Well, if you paid Netflix $13 a month instead of cable $85 a month, you know where that $72 goes? In your pocket and not to the guys who create content. Over the long run, you're going to get less stuff. If we get rid of E3, over the long run, the industry is shooting itself in the foot. Let's have E3. Let's get people excited about games. Yes, we need E3. This is the biggest thing. It's like, do consumer electronics need CES? Yes, they do. So honestly, we're fucking up royally by not supporting this show. These guys need to be here. The ESA, who puts on this show, got a new president, Stan Pierre-Louis. Stan is going to bring everybody back under the tent. I'm telling you, he's a stud. He's a great guy. It's going to happen. E3 is going to get bigger and better in the future. All right, our next question comes from Patreon from Darth Irv. Hi, Pac. How does the new Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Service and the announced upgrade program from Gold increase profit potential for Microsoft? Game Pass is starting to sound like one of those too good to be true deals. Darth Irv, no, they're not going to make a profit. It is too good to be true. I think what Microsoft is trying to do is transition from a console world to a non-console world, which might be streaming. Maybe it's a download to your phone or a download to your PC and plays on your TV, download to an Apple TV or an Echo device, but ultimately streaming first. ultimately they recognize you don't really need a console, and ultimately they just want to be in the mix. So what they're trying to do is beef up proprietary software. They bought 6 studios last year, 1 this year with Double Fine. Those 7 studios are probably good for 3 games a year. And if you kind of factor in the other Microsoft studios, they're probably good for a game every quarter for the rest of our lives. I mean, they probably can do 4 games a year. That's actually really great. And that kind of does justify the price of the $15 Ultimate Pass. I mean, I think you get Xbox Live, you get the PC Play, you get the Xbox Play. What they need to do is go off of console altogether and say, but that's the PC Pass. Make it work with your TV, that's xCloud. That's coming next year. And so I think actually they're just trying to make sure they are relevant in a console-less future. And there is going to be a console-less future. Let's be real. You don't need a DVD player with movie streaming. I mean, you can watch any movie, on demand. Well, that's how games are going to be. And so again, Microsoft sees that coming. They just position themselves to participate. It is too good to be true because they're not making money on it. And the question is, if they're not making money, how can they pay publishers for content? They can't. There'll be what we call a second window. They're going to get catalog content from publishers that have already had its useful life. And so I actually think that you're going to have both new game purchases and play 3 or 5-year-old games on Xbox Game Pass. I think it's actually going to work. So props to them. I hope it works. Our next question from Patreon from Eric Hewlin. Do you think Microsoft talking about Project Scarlett this year was just a response to Sony making the PlayStation 5's hardware specs public, or was it the plan all along? Well, Eric, I think Scarlett has always been planned to be announced here. The only thing probably different is maybe they weren't going to mention it, but it leaked out. They were always going to launch the device in 2020. So the question is, when is the right time to let people know? I think Sony's absence created an opening for Microsoft to be able to swoop in and steal everybody's attention. And even though it wasn't a really great surprise, it still captured everybody's attention at E3. So Sony not being here gave the spotlight to Microsoft, and Microsoft, I think, is absolutely going to come out with a compelling console. I learned from them it will have an optical disc drive, so you're going to still be able to buy physical games. You don't have to, but that's cool. You're still going to be able to trade in games. GameStop's still going to be relevant. I think that's really cool. And I'm telling you, Sony's going to do the same thing. So let's hope they compete the price down of these 2 new consoles and they get to $400 or less so regular people can afford them. But you may not need a console. I mean, you may decide you want to do streaming at 1080p on Stadia. The consoles are going to have exclusives. You're still going to get the Uncharteds and the Gears and the Halos, so you're going to have great content you can only get on that console. I'm going to buy one, so I hope you can too. Our last question on this special edition from Patreon from Colton Dombrowski. Who won E3? Colton, you won E3. It's a tough one. I don't think anybody had an amazing showing. I think that the headline grabbing stuff, like Keanu Reeves coming out in Cyberpunk, that was pretty cool. So if I had to say anybody had that gotcha moment, wow, it was that one, the wow factor. I personally was like all psyched about John Bernthal, being in Ghost Recon, but again, that's just because I like John Bernthal. But for real, it's the consumer won E3. I mean, this is just a great show, and if we can ever get everybody back into the tent, it's going to be a better show. So really happy that we have it here. I hope we keep having it forever, and that's it for me for this week's Pachter Factor. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm hopeful you're watching as a Patreon patron. And if you aren't, please link your Amazon account, to your Amazon Prime account, to your Twitch account. Instructions below, because we get paid by Amazon for that. You have to renew it every month, but it takes a click. If you are too lame to do that or you don't belong to Prime, you must follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter, I insist. And if you tweet, hey, I followed you because you guilted me into it, I'll retweet. You will get at least some people to know who you are. So thank you very much. Follow Shane at Dinfire. Follow SIFTD at SIFTD Games. This is Pachter at E3 2019. Out.